Hi, I'm Chef Tom. I'm a professional chef. I've trained all over the world. I've learned all kinds of culinary secrets, and now I'm going to teach them to you. This technique is a tournée. The tournée is probably going to be the hardest knife skill to learn just because it's really tricky. The tournée is supposed to be 3/4 inch thick, 2 inches long, and have 7 sides. Kind of tough to get. We use these for garnishing foods and French cuisine. It's got a lot of waste, so most mainstream kitchens will not do this technique, but let me show you anyways. Getting started, what I want to do is take a little bit off both ends. And put this into our scrap pile. So what I'm going to do to start the tournée is I'm going to put training wheels on it. And the best object you probably have in you right now is going to be a thermometer. If you don't have a thermometer, you use a straw or anything, or just kind of poke it. So this right here is great for that. So I want to do is put just a little bit here, a little bit there. So that gives you a start point and an end point. Your first cut, what you want to do is start there. Then you want to bring this up, around, and down. So you have your start point and that's your end point. Next cut is a fairly important cut. You want to bring this up and around. And one thing you can tell these cuts, the peak is going to be in the middle. If the peak's on the side, it's not going to be good. Okay, so this next cut, these first 2 cuts were kind of important, but not really. As long as you peak in the middle, you're all set. But now your cuts start getting really important. And the way you do this now is you want to do cut 1/8 of an inch. You want to bring out the 1/4 inch and drop it back to 1/8 of an inch. It's a little tricky. You'll get it. When I'm holding this tournée, this hand, the thumb and your pointing finger are here. And the way you're actually cutting this is you are holding on to this and you're pulling the knife towards your thumb. So the thumb is actually pulling this. This part is not working. The thumb is pulling the knife to it. Don't try to make it so you're trying to push it in through. You'll cut yourself really quickly. So next cut is going to be 1/8. Out to 1/4, back to the 1/8. See that? Okay, so you can see the tournées beginning to come alive now. Next cut, 1/8 inch, out to 1/4 inch, back to 1/8 of an inch. Tournées coming alive. I tend to put water. When you put water in a knife, it kind of helps it slide through a little bit easier. If you don't have an ultra sharp knife, you're gonna have a bad day trying to cut these. So again, 1/8, out to 1/4, back to 1/8. See the tournée is beginning to come up the size now. So you continue around cutting a tournée until you have all 7 sides cuts, and it's about 3/4 inch and 2 inches long, and that's how you make your tournée. This cut is going to be the most difficult cut you're going to have to do in your repertoire. You know, how I used to practice this, I would sit in front of the TV and just have 50 pounds of potatoes and tournée, 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 tournée. Some things you might want to try is actually taking an egg and taking a knife and just practicing the motion over the top of it, or just get a 50-pound bag of potatoes and go to town on it. You know, we have tournée knives for this, and tournée knife's okay. If you don't have one, I wouldn't go out and buy one just to do tournées. one pony trick, so I won't mess with this. I tend to use my paring knife for this skill. Okay, filleting a mushroom is kind of an easy thing, but it takes a lot of time, a lot of practice. So first thing you want to do is start with I like the white button mushrooms, usually medium size, and on my paring knife. So the first thing you want to do is start laying off. So what I do with this is I take my knife, and you see I'm kind of holding it backwards, just makes it a lot easier for me. So when I pull down, the weight of the back of this blade kind of helps me out a little bit with that. So come across, right across the middle, take my first wedge out. So once I have my first wedge out, that's my starting point. You can kind of readjust this throughout the thing, but that's my starting point. So now my next cut, what I want to have is start my next part. The front of the knife is cutting, and the back of the blade is actually going right where the first cut ended, right on the ridge. So again, here we go. Front of the blade's cutting, back of the blade's on the ridge. And this is just something done strictly for looks. Doesn't make the mushroom taste any better. Again, the front of the knife cuts, the back of the knife pulls it away. Some of the mistakes that a lot of people make when doing these mushrooms is they get off the middle, they start from the sides. If you start getting away from the side, just again start a little more towards the middle and make a cut, and you'll be all set. This is one of the culinary skills students will have to master. So now you have this, the next part to finish this is you'll take it, put it on the table, and you're just going to slice this kind of dead even so the stem's really not in there so much, and that'll be your final presentation right there. So we have here, we have some juliennes and some bâtonnets, and what we want to do is turn the Bernois in small dice. So here's a julienne. And again, julienne's 8 by 8 by 2 inches, and what we want to do is turn this into an 8-inch cube. So what you want to do is take your knife, again stand on top of this, get very comfortable, and slice it down, make all these little squares. Very easy to do, a little practice, you'll be there. Finish this guy off. So when you're done, you have all these little squares. When you're doing fine cuts like this, sometimes things just make people crazy. You know, very tedious. Lots of time, you want them to be absolutely perfect. You know, we use these a lot in our really high-end garnishing, maybe parts of our components to our dishes, just to show that we have extra skills. But I guarantee you that this potato is not going to taste any better than one's not cut properly. So let's go on to the bâtonnet. The bâtonnet is a 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch by 2 inches, and what we want to do is make this into a small dice. A small dice is a 1/4 inch cube. Again, this is something we use for a garniture or possibly spin our vegetables so everything looks nice, neat, and everything that's cut the same, cooked the same amount of time. So that might be another reason we use this particular cut. So again, with this cut, you know, you want to take your knife, put it down, and you want to see a square on top. Once you see the square on top, you want to slice it down. Again, see the square, slice it down. And what I'm talking about with getting the square on here, you just want to keep putting your knife over and over and over till this part right here looks like a square. It's very important to get that. So here I have your nice small dice.